my name's James and I'm a young adult living in the United Kingdom. I play guitar in a band called the Vamps for those who have never seen or heard of me before. I'm going to be making a series of videos which hopefully address and get people talking about the issues with gender equality. Gender equality is something that affects both men and women. And I think it's really important that we get as many guys talking about this as well as women. Now in this video, my first video, I want to talk about gender stereotypes. And I want to kind of focus around men and the male stereotype, how men should be or how society views men to be. Now I have a real problem with the term man up. James, man up. Come on James, be a man. And I really sort of took some time and I thought about that term, what it means to man up. I think actually, if you think about it literally, saying to someone they must man up, that sort of automatically depicts that women are lesser than men. I think that the term in itself is a bad sexist term. However, that made me think further about kind of the pressure that men potentially may and do feel in society. So what is this stereotype that men feel that they should be? Now I know from my personal experience growing up in school, having a big group of male friends, that I felt pressured to act in a certain way. I know that when I was a lot younger, you know, when I fell over or something in the playground, people would say, come on, like, man up, you know, boys don't cry. So that's one thing that automatically from a young age, I feel that men at the age when they're boys are sort of programmed into feeling that men should be stronger, maybe, than their girl peers. And throughout school, in the playgrounds or in PE lessons or at sports days, when there'd be activities like, I don't know, like throwing, things like that, you know, you'd always hear people say, oh, you throw like a girl. And all through my schooling life, you know, primary school, middle school, upper school, in things like PE classes, physical education, or even sports day, we'd be doing things like, I don't know, shot put or throwing a beanbag when we were like 7 years old. And if one of the boys wasn't as good as perhaps his male friends, people would say that he was throwing like a girl. And that encouraged people, you know, from the age of sort of 4 or 5 years old, to think that all men must be sort of strong, brave, courageous, better at physical activities in that aspect than girls. And the truth is, being strong or brave aren't specific to a gender. You know, girls can be strong and brave and good at throwing just as well as boys. So these stereotypes started for me at that young age, in my early years at school. However, they carried on for the entirety of my teenage years as well. I remember when I was asked what my favourite film was and I said The Notebook, a lot of my friends laughed at me instantly and thought I was joking. And I sort of always questioned why. Like, why should a guy not be able to like films like The Notebook or chick flicks? What's wrong with that? Who decides that, you know, a guy's emotion must be different from a girl's emotion? And I have a real problem with that. Why should I be told to like certain things or act in a certain way because I'm literally a man? You know, when I order a drink at a bar on the rare occasions I go out to a club, I order a cocktail, and a lot of the times bartenders have literally laughed at me and said, where's your sister? Where's your girlfriend? And when I'm a bit like, what are you talking about? They're like, oh, do you need a tampon? What does that mean? Like, how has that become something that is acceptable in, you know, in everyday situations? Why should I be drinking beer when I don't like drinking beer? What's the reasoning behind that? Growing up and going through puberty is hard enough as it is. A lot of people are dealing with sexuality, figuring out what they want to do for jobs, and dealing with the pressure of who you should be through gender stereotype is not helping that at all. Gender stereotypes are not only outdated, but they're wrong and harmful. Together, we can make sure that gender equality is a reality.